Okay, I am so excited to share this video with you guys today. Creating a calendar that helps keep you organized and saves you time is so important for your life and business. It's something that honestly I put off for a very long time in my business because I didn't really see the importance of it. But now that I have this system created for myself and I have time blocking in place, it's amazing how much more I get done in a day and how much more relaxed I feel when I sit down at my computer every single day. Before we get started into today's video, make sure you click the link below this video to download my free marketing resource guide. Inside, you're going to find all of the other different tools that I use within my business that I highly recommend you check out as well. My name is Melissa Mitchell. I am the owner of Wanderman Creative, an online video marketing agency and coaching business that helps entrepreneurs create impact and profit online through strategic video marketing that helps you create lead generation machines using YouTube and social media. Now, if that sounds like your jam, make sure to hit that subscribe button below this video so you don't miss out on more videos on this channel. Now, if you caught last week's video, I talked about my 7 favorite tools that I use in my business every single day. So if you want to check out that video, I'll make sure to link it in the YouTube cards above this video here. But I talked a lot about Google Suite, and Google Suite is something that I use every single day within my business, especially Google Calendar. Google Calendar is super easy to use, and I love it for a couple different reasons. The first one is that you can actually create separate calendars within Google Calendar that you can toggle on and off to help you see different areas of your life. The second is that it syncs to absolutely everything, which makes it really easy to create automation within your business. And the third is that it's just really simple to use and it's really simple to organize, which makes your life a lot easier. So let's jump over into my Google account so I can show you how it works and we can set up a calendar together. Okay, so I'm inside my Google Calendar, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you exactly how this works and how you can create a new calendar and all the different views you can have to see all of your different tasks. So I'm just on a blank calendar right now. As you can see on the left-hand side here, I have all of my different calendars available. So I can toggle these on and off, and as you can see, it just gets really complicated. I'm going to untag all of those. And then if I wanted to create a new one, so for the purposes of this video, I'm actually going to create a blank calendar. So I'm going to come down to Other Calendar and click this plus button, and then I'm going to say Create New Calendar. And you could name this whatever you want. I'm going to say Test. And you can again create the different time zone that you need for it. You can write a description if you wanted to. You can change the owner, all of that stuff here. But for the purposes of this, we're just going to keep it simple, and we're going to say Create Calendar. Perfect. So once you come back out of there, you're going to see this new calendar now on the left-hand side here, right? So it's toggled on as Test. So now I can start adding some different things into here. I can say, appointment 1, and then maybe I have another one down here. Whatever you wanted to do there. The other nice thing here is that you can come up to the View tab where it says Month and come down and go Week. So you can now see things by a week time period, or you can go day, which is going to break your day down more granularly, or month. So depending on the view or depending on the calendar that I'm using, I'll use a different view. So for example, when I'm in my daily routines calendar, which is basically the things that are going to happen over and over again week after week that I want to make sure are time blocked on my calendar. So I'll just click over to it. I actually don't like this month view because I find it looks very confusing. I actually prefer it to be in a week view so that I can really understand what needs to happen on a weekly basis. Okay, so I'm going to come back over to my test view here, and we're going to go back over into month. And if you click on the actual appointment here, let's edit this to show all of the different features within creating an appointment. So of course you have your name of your appointment, you can pick the date, and if it spans for maybe it's a week-long campaign you're doing or something like that, you could actually spread it out through a couple days. You can actually toggle this all day off and pick specific times that you wanted it to run from. And then this is where the magic happens, and we're going to talk a little bit about this more when we come back into my computer and talk about the time blocking. But here is where it says does not repeat. You want to click that, and you're actually going to pick weekly on Monday, or daily if it's something you want to happen daily, or every week, or monthly on the first Monday. There's a lot of different options here. So let's pick daily. And when we hit save, you're actually going to see that, you know, it happens on a daily basis. I mean, that's a bad example because we made it from a time period, but let's go back and just make it one day and click save. And then as you'll see, it's going to show up every single day. So if you had a reoccurring appointment that needed to happen every single day, you could add it into your calendar this way. The last thing I want to show you is if you go back into that edit here, you can actually toggle the different calendars in here if you wanted. You can change the colors to make things really pretty and visual for yourself. You could add any descriptions or reminders that you needed for that appointment. You could make yourself free or busy according to your schedule. And then you can also invite guests if you wanted to as well, to maybe if it was a Zoom meeting that you were having or something like that. You could actually add them in there and then put the link in here so they were notified as well of that meeting. So those are just some examples of kind of how to work Google Calendar, and later in this video, we'll jump back in here and we will show you how to set up the time blocking. So now that you know the different functions within Google Calendar, let's talk about how I organize my day and my time with content creation days and time blocking. Now, content creation days are basically days that I set aside so that I can work on the content that needs to get done in my business or any big projects that I'm working on within my business. Now, this is going to look very different for each and every one of you depending on the business that you're in. The reason that I do this is so that I know that 1 to 2 days a week, I need to wake up in the morning, I need to put makeup on, I need to do my hair. I can't, you know, be in my lounge clothes with my hair in a big old bun, right? I need to actually look ready for the camera or ready for a live or anything like that that I'm doing within my business. But if I have those scheduled, it means that I'm not wasting time halfway through the day having to get ready and put makeup on. I actually have those days specifically planned out ahead of time. The same thing goes for any coaching calls that I need to go on or any client work. Again, I schedule those on specific days so that, again, I know and I'm ready for those kinds of meetings. This is really nice because it allows me to then, again, like we talked about last week in last week's video, it allows clients to be able to book calls with me only on certain days. And it also allows me to really organize and batch my content, which also saves time because I know that I have these 1 or 2 days to get everything done. Now with time blocking, before you even get started in your calendar, the most important thing you need to think about is your priorities. So what things need to come first in your day? You know, do you have appointments on a regular basis that you need to put in there? Do you have kids' soccer appointments or kids' doctor's appointments? Or maybe you really want to make sure that you're spending quality time with your spouse every single night. Make sure that you're putting those priorities into your calendar first so that you don't get sidetracked with everything else that comes up throughout the day. Let's jump back over into my computer and I'll show you how we can set up this time blocking in your calendar. Okay, so now we are back into the Google Calendar and we're going to talk about setting this up for yourself with time blocking and those creative and CEO days that I was talking about. So these days can look different depending on your business, but I call them creative days and CEO days. And this basically just means days that I'm working on my business personally and days that I'm creating content so that I know that I have certain days set aside for those things. So as you can see here, if I toggle on my creative days here, you'll see that I have them set up reoccurring. So Mondays, I'm going to go to the week view here so you guys can see this. So on the Mondays are my CEO days, meaning I take care of any internal tasks that need to get done within my business. So if I have it set from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., that's my work day, and then you can see the rest of them. Then I also have client meetings set up here to show that this is the time periods, the time blocks that I actually accept client meetings, and I only accept them within those time blocks. So that's just a little example of how I set up the creative and CEO days. You can pick whatever you want to call your days and add them to your calendar. If we come back over into our test, what this would look like is you would come up to the top here and say, okay, I want to work, say, let's call this my production day. I'll use a different name so that it's something different. And I want to work from 9 a.m. to, let's say, 5 p.m., okay? And then where it says does not repeat, we want to click that, and I want to say weekly on Monday, right? Because every single Monday, this is what I want to work as. So I'm going to say save. And then I would go through and do that for the rest of the week according to the days, the big time blocks of days that I want to actually be working, okay? This calendar is just the test calendar we created earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create another calendar. I'm going to say create new calendar, and I'm going to call this time blocking test. and I'm going to create this new calendar. And the reason that we're creating multiple different calendars is because it makes it easy for us to then toggle things on and off. So I've created that test calendar, which is going to be, you know, the days that I'm working calendar. Then I'm creating that time block calendar. And then I want to create another calendar called appointments, create that one. And then maybe I want to create another calendar for, you know, family time or something like that. Again, be creative here and use this however you think it's going to work best for you, but this is just an example. So I'm going to say create calendar. So now, as you can see, I have a bunch of different calendars kind of created that are tests. So we have time blocking test. We have the first test that we made. I'm just going to rename this so we don't get confused here. I'm going to say daily test, daily work hours, let's call this. Perfect. Okay, so now we have all of these different calendars created. So let's start first with that daily work hours, right? So let's toggle these ones off here. And we've created this first work day. Let's create another work day. So say we want to go from 9 a.m. to, you know, maybe 4 p.m. And this is just going to be a work day, just a normal work day. We're going to say save. And then we're going to do that again here. We're going to say this is a creative day. And we're going to work, maybe we only want to work a half day this day. So we're going to say from 12 to 4 p.m. And then maybe this is a client day, okay? And we're going to work from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be a little bit later. Okay, so we only work 4 days a week. This is our work schedule. Let's use this as an example. The next thing that we wanted to put in there would be, you know, if we're taking client appointments or anything like that, any days that we need to actually book time for people to book a call with us or book a time with us, okay? So no matter if you're a product-based business or a service-based business, you probably have some sort of client appointments that need to be made or some sort of vendor appointments, anything like that. You want to kind of create a specific day for this. So let's say that because Thursdays are our client days, we're going to accept client appointments on Thursdays only. And we're going to say, oops, let's say client appointments, and we're going to accept them from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. And we're going to change this to the Thursday, right? And then we're going to say that does not, we're going to hit that does not repeat, and we're going to say weekly. Next, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to actually change the color because I don't want it to be the same color as my work hours, right? So I'm going to change it to pink and I'm going to say save. Okay, so now this is a really good kind of framework to understand what parts of your day are work time and what parts of your day are, you know, family time or personal time. Next, I want you to come over into family time, okay? And this is going to be the stuff that we want to make sure is happening in our lives all the time, that our big priorities in our life, okay? So let's say on Sundays, you know, we really want to make sure we're spending time with the family. So spending time with family, and we're going to make sure that that's, you know, we're giving ourselves some solid time for that. So let's say from noon to, you know, 6 p.m., that's family time. You know, we're dedicating our time with our family, and we're going to say repeats weekly on Sunday. You can leave it purple or you can change it to whatever color you want. We're going to say save, okay? Then we want to make sure we're working out every single day, right? That's a big priority of ours. So we're going to say 10 a.m. and I'm going to say workout. And I'm going to say from 10 to 11, perfect. We're going to change this. Maybe we're going to change it to yellow. And then we're going to hit weekly. We're going to say daily actually because we want to work out daily. Okay, so we're going to save. Perfect. Then what's the next thing? What's another priority in our lives? Okay, maybe you have certain appointments or certain things that you really want to make sure are done. You want to plug them into this calendar, okay? So now that you have all of your priorities down and you have your daily work hours set, the next thing you want to think about is any appointments that you might have. Okay, so we're going to toggle on this appointments one. Okay, so appointments would be, you know, if you had doctor's appointments or, you know, kids' soccer appointments, or maybe you have, I don't know, certain things that you have to make sure are getting done. This is where you would put those appointments. And this is the perfect one to be linking to something like Acuity or Calendly, your calendar scheduling program, anything like that. And that I talked about last week in my last video about the apps that I use within my business. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. But this would be a perfect one to link to that so that all of your appointments are being automatically synced to your calendar. So once that's been done, you have 3 calendars completed. Now comes the magic of time blocking. Okay, so I'm gonna toggle all of these on. I'm gonna say, let's just create an appointment just as an example here. I'm gonna say doctor's appointment. And you know, it's set for, let's call it 12:15 to 1:15. Perfect. Let's put it over here. Okay, so we have appointments toggled on, we have daily work hours toggled on, and we have family time toggled on. So now you can start to see what's happening within your day and where there's gaps of time that you can now fill. Now, every single person likes to do this differently. I've seen some people like really schedule their time, or they even put like their daily chores in here. And so they have, you know, every person in their family has, you know, the different chores they need to do on a daily basis. I personally don't get that granular. I just kind of use this for like the bulk appointments, but I've definitely seen people time block like every single hour of their day. So keep that in mind, that that's definitely an option for you. So you could come down here and say like dinner time, and like fully time block this out and say, okay, you have dinner from 6 to 7 p.m. every day, or 6:30 to 7:30. And like, you could totally change this around if you wanted to and have that happen. Totally up to you. But now what you can do is come into time blocking, and you can start to see where the gaps of time are. So right now, Thursday is a really busy day, right? We have our client day, we have our workout happening, we have a doctor's appointment 11:15 to 12:15, and then we have client appointments potentially all day, right? And then, you know, what's our gap of time? So what could we fill that time with? So this is where I would go over to a project management tool like Asana or ClickUp or anything like that, where you have your workflows and the things that need to get done on a daily basis, and you can start filling in this time. So I'll do an example of mine for you guys so you can kind of understand how this might work. So say I'm looking at today. So today's Monday, it's a production day. So I'm like, okay, this is where I'm gonna be like writing scripts for my business, and I'm gonna be like organizing things. Okay, so I know that I need to write scripts, right? So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna say write scripts. And it's gonna probably take me, you know, 3 hours, let's say. So I'm gonna do it from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, and I'm going to say save. Okay, and then what else can I do? Maybe I need to do some keyword research before I write the scripts. Okay, so I'm going to come back down here again. I'm going to say keyword research, and I'm going to say I'm going to do that from 11:30 because I'm going to give myself some buffer time after my workout to, I'm going to say 12:30. That's probably good, and then I have half an hour to eat. Okay, perfect. So then I have this little bit gap of time down here, so I can say, okay, after I've done my keyword research, I've written my scripts, then maybe I can, you know, what am I going to do here? I can, you know, I can create social media content. Okay, these are just examples, of course. You can be a lot more specific in this if you like. So I'm going to say from 4 o'clock to 5 p.m. Perfect, 1 hour. Good. So now this is my day is completely full, right? I know everything that's happening in these bulks of time so that I can like plan out my week ahead of time. And I usually plan out my week, you know, I try to sit down on Sunday and kind of do this time blocking for each week. I don't do it way ahead of time, just a week or a couple days ahead of time is fine. But this will kind of really start to show you where blocks of time are being used and where you can actually add more things to your calendar, or maybe take things away because one day is too heavy or one day is too light. So this is kind of it seems like an extra step, but it really is quite interesting to start to see where you can actually fill in more things into your day. And again, you can be as specific with this as you like, but I really don't. I will give you an example of what mine looks like here. So if I toggle my appointments on and I toggle my creative days on and my daily routine on, you can kind of start to see what my days start to look like, of where, you know, everything kind of lies. But that's just an example. So you can, again, be as specific with this as possible, but I really hope this starts to help you so that you can see where you can start, you know, adding more workflows or adding more things into your business to help you move the needle. So now that you have an idea of how I time block my calendar, I would love to know, what do you think of this process, and have you tried it for yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Now with time blocking, there is no right or wrong way to do this. It's completely customizable to you and your lifestyle. The most important thing is, like we said, making sure that those priorities are really in your calendar first, and then making your workday or the other tasks that need to be completed work around those things. And like anything else, things don't need to be perfect the first time you set them up. You know, start small and start filling in the little appointments first, and then slowly build from there. Now, to learn more about content and how to organize your content, make sure you check out these other 2 videos right here. And like I said, make sure to hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss out on future videos on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Bye. Where I know that I'm going to be creating content, so I need to get ready in the morning. Hold on, my light died. My light.